Hello, friends. Welcome to our channel, History Chronicles. By the late 18th century, France had become a nation teetering on the edge of financial collapse. The grandeur of the monarchy, once a symbol of French power and prestige, had become a burden too heavy to bear. The lavish spending, costly wars, and inefficient taxation system had drained the royal coffers, and now the kingdom was facing a crisis that threatened not just the economy, but the very foundation of society. In this episode, we'll explore how the economic crisis of 1788 became the breaking point for a nation already rife with tension, setting the stage for the French Revolution. The roots of the crisis can be traced back to the reign of Louis XIV, whose wars and extravagant spending had left France deeply in debt. Successive rulers, including Louis XV and now Louis XVI, inherited this financial mess. However, rather than addressing the systemic issues, the monarchy continued its spending spree, particularly on maintaining the opulent court at Versailles. Meanwhile, the tax system remained highly inefficient and deeply unfair. The burden of taxation fell disproportionately on the Third Estate, peasants, urban workers, and the bourgeoisie, while the First and Second Estates, consisting of the clergy and nobility, enjoyed exemptions from most taxes. This inequitable system led to a growing resentment among the Third Estate. As we discussed in our previous episode, the peasants were struggling under heavy tax burdens and feudal obligations, the urban workers faced rising costs and unemployment, and the bourgeoisie, despite their wealth, were denied political power. The frustration among these groups was reaching a boiling point. In 1786, the financial situation became critical. The government, unable to meet its obligations, faced a staggering budget deficit. France was effectively bankrupt, with its debt exceeding 4 billion livres, a colossal sum for the time. The problem was compounded by the fact that the government's income was insufficient to cover even the interest payments on its debt, let alone its regular expenses. The dire financial situation was exacerbated by a series of poor harvests, leading to food shortages and rising bread prices. The people were hungry, and hunger has always been a powerful catalyst for social unrest. Louis XVI and his advisors, including the finance minister Charles-Alexandre de Calonne, recognized the need for drastic reforms. Calonne proposed a series of measures to address the financial crisis, including the introduction of a more equitable tax system, reducing government expenditures, and stimulating economic growth through infrastructure projects. However, these reforms required the approval of the nobility and the clergy, who were reluctant to give up their privileges. To gain support for his reforms, Calonne persuaded Louis XVI to convene the Assembly of Notables in 1787. This assembly was composed of hand-picked members of the nobility, clergy, and other influential figures. Calonne hoped that the notables would support his proposals, but instead, they rejected them outright. The assembly insisted that any new taxes must be approved by the Estates General, the traditional representative assembly that had not been convened since 1614. The Estates General included representatives from all three estates, and its reassembly would open the door to demands for broader political reform. Facing the collapse of his financial plan and mounting pressure, Calonne was dismissed, and his successor, Étienne Charles de Loménie de Brienne, attempted to push through similar reforms. However, Brienne encountered the same resistance from the nobility and clergy. The situation deteriorated further when the Parliament of Paris, the judicial body that registered royal edicts, refused to approve new taxes, arguing that only the Estates General had the authority to do so. As the financial crisis deepened, the government was forced to take desperate measures. By 1788, France was in a state of financial and social turmoil. The treasury was empty, and the government could no longer borrow money. Creditors were losing confidence in the monarchy's ability to repay its debts, and inflation was rampant. The price of bread, the staple food of the French people, skyrocketed, leading to widespread hunger and unrest. Bread riots broke out in several cities as desperate people looted bakeries and demanded relief from the government. In the countryside, the situation was equally dire. Poor harvests in 1787 and 1788 led to famine in many regions. Peasants, already burdened by taxes and feudal dues, were now facing starvation. Their anger and frustration grew, and they began to resist their feudal obligations more openly. The tension between the peasants and their feudal lords was escalating, and violence was becoming increasingly common. Amidst this chaos, Louis XVI made a fateful decision. In July 1788, he agreed to convene the Estates General for the following year. This decision was seen as an admission that the monarchy could no longer govern without the consent of the people. It was a momentous step, one that would unleash forces beyond the king's control. The convening of the Estates General was a historic event, one that the people of France greeted with a mixture of hope and apprehension. For the first time in over a century, the representatives of all three estates would gather to address the kingdom's most pressing issues. However, the divisions between the estates were deep, and it was unclear whether they could come together to solve the crisis or whether their differences would only deepen the nation's woes. As the year 1788 drew to a close, France was on the brink of revolution. The economic crisis had laid bare the deep divisions within society, and the old order was crumbling under the weight of its own contradictions. The monarchy, once the unchallenged center of power, was now seen as weak and ineffective. The people were hungry, angry, and desperate for change. And so, the stage was set for the dramatic events of 1789, when the Estates General would meet and the French Revolution would begin in earnest. But before we reach that point, we must first understand the growing unrest among the people, especially the peasants, who were the backbone of the Third Estate. In our next episode, we will delve into the subsistence crisis that gripped France in the years leading up to the Revolution. We will explore how hunger and despair fueled the anger of the common people, pushing them to demand radical change. Stay tuned as we continue our journey through the French Revolution. Thank you for joining us on History Chronicles. See you in the next episode.